I feel like when I came to school, I thought it was going to be like a bunch of brilliant faculty members teach me best practices, and then I try my best to implement them. And instead, I think what I've learned here is that, like, oh, it's on all of us to create best practices for the story, right? And we build the production practices, the rehearsal practices together in order to achieve what we're trying to. Because the truth is, there is no best practice, right?
It's been in our bones because like Kim from the very start, she was always thinking about like how how am I going to light her set?
Mm-hmm.
Even down to like positions to make sure that I have my positions to bring her life or set to life. And then like talking to Mike, he's like, "Hey David, I see you have some lights here. I think it'd be really nice to put my front fills in here, but I know you need lights here for whatever reason," is his words. For whatever reason you need them there. And we had a conversation about, yeah, I can actually move my light over here to still get my thing, but then to also get the sound you need. It's never felt like a compromise with anything within this show. It's always been about like, how can we fit all these puzzle pieces together to get to the end result, which is like a show and putting the text on stage.
I feel there's a lot of support from the faculty that are encouraging us to do something that give us a sense of wonder, something we haven't seen before. And I think they were trying to make sure the vision of the designer and directors are heard in the process. And I also feel we had a very large support from the resource of paint shop and other shop that's related to build this very large scale set. And also we had the incredible technology directing team and the supervisor, LT. She's also in checking with me, and making sure we're having a good collaboration process with the technical director and the team.
I remember the day where I said to Luke, our technical director, that I was like, the play needs to move like a dream, like things need to be able to just kind of like float on and float off. And he was like, oh, okay. We're gonna need to change the casters on this kitchen island, right? We need something that's going to be like a lot more accessible and allow for. And now we have this like massive set piece made of like tons of metal that also like floats on air across the stage, and it can spin, and an actor can spin it on their own.
Yeah.
And it really is like an extraordinary feat of construction that comes out of an artistic idea and an artistic impulse about how the piece must move, right? And it's kind of one of the requirements that I glean from the text as a director, and then bring to Kim and bring to Luke and say like, well, how can we do that? Yeah.
From a sound point of view, rarely do we do any show here with a full band. We don't have any program here to tell you how to like mic instruments or like treat the instruments in a musical production. That doesn't learn. So we had to figure that out kind of on our own. We had like about 30, 40 mics on the band. We cut a lot of it, brought it down. But just the amount of programming and just getting everything to actually work was incredible. We did not have, I wish we had more time with the band. I'm not going to say we didn't have enough time, because that's not true. But I will say that I could have worked with the band for weeks and weeks. It was awesome having a band in this space. I think our first show with an audience was our first preview and our third run with the band, which was cutting it very, very close. But they were troopers. They went right on through. And we learned a lot working with the band.
I think one of the really beautiful things about getting to work at this scale is that we were able to run the concepts and values that we wanted to put in this production, like through the entire show, like every design aspect. Had a lot of conversations with stage management about how we would run the room. One of our rules was that people could leave and enter the space as they needed to. We really wanted people to not feel like they had to run away from feeling things about the show, because the material is very relevant and touches on a lot of pain that we experience, especially as students in kind of a high pressure setting. It was not just telling this story, but telling this story with these people, so that we could shape our process around our team and our cast And to me, that's an important anti-ableist component of making specifically this play, to say like, you belong as a part of this journey, and we will like enter into the negotiation of all of our needs to figure out how we can best go forward.